So, so I'll click trading opportunity in the global financial markets. I'm going to be sharing my page with us. But I think tonight I'm going to start from the phenomenon of the Bitcoin and what's happening. And of course, if you have been in our ecosystem for some time, you know I've been talking about the market was going to be bloody. And of course, it was not surprising that we saw what we saw. And we have not stopped. So I'm going to start from the macro overview of the market and for us to have an aha effect of the system. Now, if you look at it, most time, one of the things that was boosting the market, look at all of those ETF, those companies, Grayscale, BlackRock, and all of that. I normally tell us one thing when it has to do with Bitcoin, and I think this is going to help us. The Bitcoin ETF, right, and all of that. One of the biggest aspects of it is the fact that so we look at Bitcoin, total Bitcoin spot ETF net flow for the past how many days? All of those companies have been selling. You saw volumes that were net negative outflow for the past since Sunday 25th. All right, so we have zero from, so if you go back and check your markets, apart from all of those days from on the 25th, all right, on the 14th, where the last time we have the positive inflow, and over time we start having more sell. Only a few companies were buying. So, but from the 24th, we start having all companies selling, and some that were not selling were not buying. And so we have negative today. No company was buying, right? No company was selling, and it happened similar to where we have this, maybe probably was on holiday sometime. So now the pressure on Bitcoin, like I told us, now the first thing you probably want to look at on Bitcoin, where the likely points of we going to in Bitcoin after now. So let's look at it very on the macro level and on-chain analysis. So Bitcoin continued to marvel down, but that's just kind of free fall that will still continue, probably to hit about $81,000. Remember, we're talking about Bitcoin to go to $73,000. But we're having a kind of liquidation above here, which about $86,000 and probably $87,000. If I go on weekly, perhaps, all right, if I go on weekly, perhaps it could be at 90 something thousand dollars, as it were, probably at 96 and $97,000. Now, what does it signal to us? This is a kind of macro level and on-chain analysis of Bitcoin, trying to form a kind of head and shoulder to come back. But this is the point. Most people don't look at the market as it were, what's going to happen to the market or what are we looking at in the market. Now, if you go back to the market as it were and see what's happening, and then we're going to go to the chart analysis before we talk about the trading opportunity. I've been telling most of the people that for you to really have good trading habit, you have to have an investor mindset. Now, because some of those trading activities people are doing around is beyond, it's just merely kind of retail activities. And now, so this is Bitcoin, and it's so crazy when I've been talking about Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on 12 hours. If I go on 12 hours, if I go on 4 hours, so Bitcoin is actually still crazily dropping down right now, where we're supposed to have a kind of, maybe if I go on 30 minutes later, we should have like inverse head and shoulder. But on 12 hours, you see Bitcoin is still rocking down with $84,000, perhaps. So probably Bitcoin to go down to as low as $81,000. We were expecting to have a bounce here, right? If I go on daily time frame, so quickly let's look at it. So this is where we wanted Bitcoin not to spoil the whole stuff here, here, here. Now we broke this, and remember, I've been telling us about this market that as long as Bitcoin stay below this line, then we go nowhere. And so Bitcoin had to just took out the liquidity here, which was a fake out eventually, and we broke down. These are key levels of Bitcoin on daily time frame. And I said the way Bitcoin is going, I was not comfortable because first we have a divergence, a bearish divergence on Bitcoin on the monthly, on weekly time frame at a point, yeah, And then the next we had was a kind of gravestone doji on a monthly candle, which are pure price action that was going to be very terrible. And of course, we had this gap for a very long time. So similar thing we had here, like when I told us last year, June sometime, when we started from here of this high and we moved sideways. And I told us, and we have this lowest that time, of course, that I label. And I say, as long as we still level-headed above $47,000, we're still good. And then we got a bounce, and that was a very massive one. So similar thing happened. Then we're able to break out after staying there for about 190 or 200 days. And this was massive and very fantastic. That will stay above 200 moving average. We're able to cross that and then rock down about this line. But this became so dangerous when we had those movement and all of this, and we began to stay below this line, which means the market was losing its momentum. Now, and I told us, I said, my target is that if Bitcoin could grab and consolidate above this point, then we could have extra, in fact, as massive as up to probably 125 or 127,000 or even $176,000 as it were. But of course, temporal top of the market. If you check it on the daily time frame, you probably will have something like head and shoulder for Bitcoin, and here become the what? The neckline. And now we are below the neckline as suppose, for instance, let's say here, because if you look at it, this was the lowest and the middle. And then if I take it down, so I'm just trying to do all of this. Then before we go into probably we could find an opportunity and all of that. But definitely a lot of people do not understand what markets stand to give you if you don't act on time as expected. All right. So you have this, sorry, come on, go here, sorry. Okay, let's just move up here. I need to break out this. Here we have this head and shoulder. Yeah. Okay. So now this is a problem. So Bitcoin having this, and then we have broken the neckline. So that means the danger we have in Bitcoin right now is for these probably, and which stand to do as if this was a retest of the neckline. Yeah, this candle here rally back to $88,000 or $87,000 region, and now we're going. But this is the good thing. Now you're looking at the market from both sides, but these are the massive crashing, as it were, for Bitcoin. So now the next you want to look at is that on this channel, ordinarily, now on the other side, I probably will want to go to on 4 hours channel, and I want to look at the Bitcoin, right, on my 4 hour channel that I've drawn here. So looking at this, I've said, so you want Bitcoin to have this. Of course, we're already going down, and so you want it to like move here, move this way, and we move this way. So if it's going to give us that, probably if you return back, maybe breakout, just like a kind of breakout and fake out of this point, and then you have Bitcoin probably return back to $88,000. Now, if we're able to break it, $9,000. Now, listen, what do you want to pay attention to? If we're able to break above $89,000, don't get so happy. There's a big resistance at $92,000, $93,000. Very terrible one, right? And that could coincide. Now, if you go on to the top of channel, you're looking at 95,000. And now listen to me. If I'm going to look at the market, either on my future or my Forex account and all of that, the moment Bitcoin get back to this point and is able to rally up to the top of the world, of the channel, I'm going to short Bitcoin down to 70,000. Hear me right. I will short Bitcoin. So if I were you, I would pay attention to look at what's going to happen. Not that we have actually covered this point, because this is still very delicate, which I'm going to show other dimension of it. But any rally up for Bitcoin, now probably this is a resistance. You remember, this is a key level for Bitcoin, which $88,000 and $9,000. Now, when we're able to break that, you're looking at Bitcoin going down to about $92,000, $93,000. If we can build all this record, then you're going to have this point to contend with, and that's going to be Now, with the signs that's going to give, remember, the month is ending tomorrow. And so we can have a fake move up to that point, possibly. And now chances are there, possibly. And once that happens, at the beginning of the month, which is the month of March, then we should have the market continue to move down. Or tentatively, we go sideways over here. And then because the way Bitcoin is going down was a funny life all this while. These were funny knife, these were funny knife. And we want to form a floor here to rally and break out and come to go up, but unfortunately could not form that. Now trying to form that here right now, well, this candle is quite heavy. I can't really say where it's going to get to. So if you take out this, then you probably are looking at $81,000 and all of that. That's what the chances. Now, all of this thing we're doing now, it just actually lit for a lot of people because the moment you've been downtrend below 200 moving average of my own type of indicator, and this have been the journey of Bitcoin all this while. And so now if you go to 12 hours and look at it, going back here. Now let's look at the channel and volume profile. Yeah, so here you have Bitcoin, right? Point of control, right? So Bitcoin majorly, so it's still this point of 96,000. So we have like 93, 94,000, and then majorly 93,000 or 94, 96,000, which coincide with this, all right? With this up channel, and then we have a total crash. Or the way we are going with this heavy candle we're having right now, we just go down to as low as that $73,000. So if we can have a bounce, that is to say, if we have a bounce from $73,000, well, you're going to be having problem of 85 and 88,000. So any bounce to 73,000 from 73,000 is to further short the market from 85,000 and $88,000 as it were. That's what Bitcoin. And that's one of the things I always tell people when it has to do with trading, you have to look at the long-term perspective and so that you can maximize the opportunity. But most time people look at Bitcoin from one angle and just being sentimental about it. What about Ethereum? Of course, Ethereum have told us that Ethereum have lost momentum for a very long time. And so the sentiment around Ethereum is very terrible. However, other additional sentiment we have on Bitcoin is the fact that Bitcoin right now, let me just go up here. So Bitcoin right now, if you look at the long and short ratio, we are having more of being bullish, right? But that's not the fact. So very bullish, a lot of sentiment, very bullish about 33%, just bullish about 19%. So 19% plus 33%, that's about how many? That's about 33% plus 19%. Yeah, that's about 51%, right? So we have neutral percent, and then we have very bullish 13%, bearish, and then very bearish 13%, and all of this. So, but give and take, these are just sentiment and all of that. Any factor can still push down because if you look at the stock market, it's very, very, very deadly and then back down. So now, a lot of friends have asked me, are we not going to have altcoin season? Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but the point is this. As far as market is concerned, you envisage this, but you have to understand the fact that the market will do what it's going to do, especially with all of those things. One of the first indicator for me to develop probably where we are going to the top of the roof is when you begin to have the mainstream activities, mainstream media, and all of those things that, right, begin to talk so much about, right, begin to talk so much about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and all of that, then I know that the end or the top is actually coming in. That's the truth. Because most time people just come out, Bitcoin, where's it going to get to? The price, will it get to this social price and all of that? And I would like them and say, hey, you know what? You can't just be hyping all of this. Bitcoin may not perform what you are saying now. But what if people are saying actually Bitcoin will do that, but not just at this point in time? And that's one of the things that make people not to actually maximize crypto as much as possible, right? So now let me show you guys something very, very, now I had a kind of a falling wedge here. and I look at Bitcoin, so ordinarily, if we had had this and break out of this point, then we'll have gotten to this. But here we are now. See Bitcoin now crashing down again. So that's to say you have this low of Bitcoin. Now, if you have this low of Bitcoin, then we crash more to the $73,000 we're actually targeting. This is more reason why I've been telling a lot of friends or in our community that if you're in profit in some of your portfolio, take part of it and lock in money into your paynet ecosystem. Reason being that you can have a place where you can be golfing out some, that could be, oh, this is my profit, all right, from the top of the market, and I'm pushing it to kind of a reserve. Yes, fine. We can say, okay, is it not risky and all of that? Well, this is a place where we can be getting, if you know what you are doing part time anyway, then you're getting some stable USDT and all of that. Maybe sometime we could find Bitcoin trying to pull back and we'll say, okay, let's find an entry here and this is going to be. So you can see what Bitcoin is doing right now. So it's just for us to break out this point. And what I'm going to do is very simple. As long as Bitcoin take out this low and then return back to the channel, then that means we are wiping down to that $73,000 we are targeting. That's to say more pressed down to about 10%. Remember, we said about from the top of the market was to have Bitcoin moving from to create about 30 to 35% drop, and which coincide with about $73,000 to $71,000, which is this my region for a very long time. And then if we're able to get that, then we can bounce. But if the bounce is not reasonable, then forget about it. I've told us sometimes say, hey, what am I going to do now? And all of that. So long Bitcoin could not break this to get over this, to have formed a kind of inverse head and shoulder, then is going to be very disastrous. Okay. So because we ought to have something like this here, something like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. All right, something like that. Okay. Sorry. Oh. I need the inverse head and shoulder, head and shoulder, head and shoulder. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is the issue. So long we couldn't break this as like the neckline, then it's a trouble, right? Okay, so there you go. We are 83,000. So you can see that we're actually going down because this is a falling wage. Now, after that, we've gone. So if you take this, well, let's go this way. Let's go this way. I'm going to go. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint a lot of us because some think that the market, okay. So can you see? That's about $73,000. So we can rock down. The moment we take out this low, we rock down to $73,000. So for me, I want to just have a breakout of this point. If you have not short the market from the beginning when I've talked to us about the market was going to go to $73,000, then probably you want to find another entry here and then put your stop loss above here. Or even if you can risk any part, but sometimes I always tell people is that at this point in time, if you are entering late, you want to use no leverage, okay? For instance, if I short Bitcoin now, so from here, for instance, if I say I'm shorting Bitcoin just to make some money, right? Then if you short, let's say you short Bitcoin from here right now, then you can put your stop loss above $85,000. So this is 8%. So no leverage, 8%, and then targeting $73,000. Okay. So that's about 12%, right? So if Bitcoin rock down to that point, then you are going to do 12% of any amount you locate to that. And that's one of the things people do not want to go. When we tell them about, because what this have guaranteed or help you to do right now is that it has helped you to find an entry to make money, not with big amount, but at least to some extent. But where will have been the best for me to have entered here? You can see that the best place will have entered here if you were following the trend will have been as the market rejected this key level. then you will have find an entry at that point, and then your stop loss above 89,000, because if you return back all, and then that will have been maybe breaking out of this point. But with this, as it's going now, you can agree that it's going to break out this, because going back to this guy here, you can see this is a very heavy candle. If I even go on daily time frame, so on daily time frame, you can see it's a sweep from up, but it's a very long week after the market tried to actually go up, and then very long week. Then you're rocking down the market. You're rocking down seriously to $73,000. So now, most time people don't pay attention to all of those analysis because they look so theoretical, right? You can see Ethereum, of course, it has failed, right? You can say that this guy has failed and all of that. So a lot of accounts will be liquidated because of the season we are and all of those things. So now I'm just showing us all of these so that we can have an understanding that the market is what it is. And of course, DXY will be gaining some momentum and strength. Now you can see what DXY is doing, right? Getting very fantastic momentum and strength. And of course, that's the negative effect on other stuff, just like what we saw on DXY, this 4 hours anyway, forming a floor. After the floor, this is a very nice breakout. And that's what you're having. So you could have this now to this, and then that means you're looking at this point for DXY before you can have some kind of pullback. So I can tell you now that Euro USD that was showing some kind of strength and momentum before had failed, right? That's what you had here. And now Euro USD, this is 4 hours. The next you're going to have is to find Euro USD down to this point. All right. Those of you trade Forex, you want to find probably an entry. That will have been a nice entry for you from this point, all this while. And now you can say logically, this was forming a kind of head and shoulder. Though you may not be a perfect one, but you can see that this is like a neckline. And then if you get rejected, then you're going to be selling down. And once you break here, then we love to find Euro USD downward as long as this guy continue to gain momentum for real, right? So now why I'm showing us all of this is that I'm going to go to trading activities and all of that. So what do we do in the trading activities? Okay, this guy's too, because of the stock market was not so happy, and then you can have a rock down. This is sort of place I was telling people about sell zone. Those of you who trade Forex and all of that, that was about how many days ago? This one today, yesterday, day before yesterday. Okay, that's about how many? That was last week. That was last week on Thursday. Yeah, that was last week, Thursday and Friday. And I was talking about the sell zone for this market, and that's having surely amazing. And that's why when I tell people I trade Forex and I invest in Forex. So imagine you have a position you hold on to for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's still going to continue till month ending. And so if you cannot have a bounce over here, then what happened? Everything is going to rock down, right? Everything is going to rock down if you could not have a bounce over here. But even when you have a bounce here, maybe take tomorrow is Friday, and then what's going to happen to that? And then you'll have amassed a lot of money. So one of the things is that people don't look at long-term perspective. Of course, oil crashed down after a kind of double top here, and of course recovering now as massive as possible. That's a very massive one. Since today it has been bullish and continue to bullish as it were. So we can continue that. Probably another head up to watch out for is actually this point for oil, and once we're able to break it, would coincide with this, then we can continue to rock up. So that means oil overall can get to 74 to $75 per barrel. And then, of course, you are making out your money. Now, I'm doing all of this because just to show us that dimension through which we take opportunity up in the global financial market. Now, so very quickly, like I've told us right now, that Bitcoin, of course, it's not now I'm telling us that the Bitcoin, so it's not when Bitcoin start crashing now or have been crashing now that I talk about the market was not good. And if you have been in plan B, you know, I've talked about it for long. And I said, hey, you know what? We are not good at all because now, so this is broke out of the channel, right? So broke out of the channel. and then no bands. We ought to have a bands just like something similar to this, does this, and all of that. So no bands, and then this is like a rejection. And once this rock down, tomorrow we have a kind of push up and get rejected here, then we are done. So down, down, down. So if you're watching me live, you probably want to find an entry short position, even though you are late, but you don't want to use leverage, okay? Even though you're late, you don't want to use leverage, just use 1x, no leverage, okay? And so you just continue whatever percentage. So if you make 12%, let's say you put 500 bucks and 12% of 500 bucks, you know how much that's going to be. That can add up something for you, right? And that's one of the things I want us to do. Now, so let's go into trading opportunity. Like we said in plan B, we have departmentalized opportunity in the crypto or digital financial market into three major segments. First segment is the aspect of investing, and the second segment is the aspect of trading, and the third segment is the aspect of affiliate rebates system. All right. So if that's the case, we've talked about investing, but I said people who do well in trading are people who still have mindset of investing. Yeah. People who do well in trading are still the same people who have the right mindset of investing. This is the reason. Now, when you are trading, of course, we have different types of trading and we have so many types of traders, right? So when you are trading, you're looking at, so we, plan B, we have trading on different segments. Number one, we have trading in Forex. So trading currencies. For me, I don't like trading currencies, but that's not as if it's bad, especially if you are trading and your account is very little, then there will be a need for you to be trading currencies, okay? Now, but right now, the question you asked me, Felix, if I want to trade now, so, okay, you can see like most people who are told them to trade, go to 15-minute time frame, and of course, combine just some major kind of futures. Now, but you must define to yourself, since we have different instruments of trading. Now, in our segment of trading, we have Forex trading, right? We have crypto trading, and in crypto trading, we have futures and spot, right? But right now, you can tell me that spot, you may not be able to trade spot right now because any coin you buy now can just melt down in your hands, right? But there are a few coins that by hidden information that you have access to them. I think I was seeing a coin that continued to go bullish. Maybe it ought to have corrected itself now. Good. Oh, no, not this. This is the one in Ethereum. Oh my word. So you can imagine why we're having a very bearish market. This guy had continued to be bullish for the past, look at it, for the past how many days? Okay. So you can imagine why Bitcoin is bearish. This guy had continued to be bullish. Yeah. Now, funny enough, I have a boat that I was using somewhere, and the boat, what they do, the setting they do to that boat is always short positions. And now they short this. They short this. And now this is about 58% why market is crashing, right? And I saw Maker MKR2 was preparing some kind of move. I wouldn't know, maybe good. He continued the move too, right? Although now trying to, so imagine why market was crashing, then you can still find some coins independently doing some kind of move. I think, yeah, the same thing we saw, this coin that was launched. I was telling somebody when he was chatting with me, and I said, you can buy, okay, I think it's trying to, okay, it's still going to go up, right? That was that high. And then when it came down to 60 something cent. So now I'm just showing us some stuff. Now, so if you are going to trade spot now, that's going to be opportunity coin, not a structured coin, meaning not the conventional, like conventional altcoin, not Ethereum, right? Not Ethereum, not BNB, not Solana, and all of those things. So you can, because typically they are bearish, they have to be taking the heat of Bitcoin. However, some of them are already forming a base right now. So like this guy is forming a base now, but you can tell me that this BNB, what's it called, Solana, ought to cross above 146 before you say, okay, we're going up. But if you look at it, Solana is going to go down to about $121. And so if Bitcoin bounced from that $73,000, then Solana too can have a bounce. And of course, you're now looking at over time to get rejected at about $180 and then finally crash. Okay. So, oh my word. Now, some of us, when we see the profit on the table, that when the market is turning around, we do nothing. And that's why the whole thing will get melted in our hands because we're dilly-dallying, not making decision as fast as possible, even when we have the right information on time. Okay. So now this is how what we trade. So we trade Forex, right? We trade crypto and we trade synthetics, okay? So Forex, crypto, synthetics. And now what we say is very simple. If I'm going to trade Forex now, and this is what I recommend because I've discovered most of us are literally, let me not say lazy, but I think distracted not to be ready. Most of us are not ready for learning, okay? So learning is a very, very integral part of being a successful trader. For if you must succeed in trading, generally investing, everything, you must be a learner. So you're ready to learn. So first, on the aspect of crypto, we talk about futures, right? Talk about futures, and we said we make use of CoinW platform for futures, right? Because of the fee and rebate back to even the trader himself, not even affiliate. Okay. So, and one of the things is that they filter not trading all coins. And one of the things I always recommend for people, if you want to make future trading your major core, don't trade too many altcoins. You probably want to limit your trading much to Bitcoin and other coins that already form a very nice, solid, foundation, because that can give you, good target to enter and not to be under shaking move. But if some of those meme coins and all of that, yes, opportunity by chance you can, get into them, but not making them as the major thing you're trading. If not, when we're going to have a very shaky move in the market, then you could be a victim of those type of market volatility, as it were. So futures is one of the first. We said, okay, people want to build a career, can face the future trading. And so two ways. You can trade it on CoinW, probably some other altcoins that newly listed, and momentum or trend coins are getting listed on MSC. So you can trade there too for futures and not like. And one of the lovely things is that all of those things we're mentioning, they are being cooked in the same pot, meaning you still buy them, right? You still find their analysis on your trading view, okay? So if that is, it's very simple for you to, so but what we recommend was that, okay, when you want to come in, I think I was working on a formula of starting a future trading or starting, future trading. And I put a partitions of when you come in, you use the CoinW platform, right? For manual trading, and you use you trading for, because I developed a new strategy last week and I saw that it was very, very, very helpful. Though a lot of accounts must have been getting close to liquidations, or perhaps the very low volumes in their portfolio right now because of the market movement. And of course, many may not know what to do at the point when the market was actually, when I say, oh, market is going to go down and all of that. So, but when I developed that strategy, I saw that it was perfect and was nice. That was using what we call the DCA Pro, right? The AI DCA Pro. And I look at the settings, was very nice. And what I saw on the settings, so to tell you that the best type of trading is still, and as a matter of fact, the best type of trading is still swing trade. Because when I checked the algorithm, what they were using was 4-hour time frame, right? So 4-hour time frame will give you better view. So imagine, you can't tell me now, this 4-hour time frame, for instance, you can't tell me now that this market was not obvious for me, that because of the candle pattern I'm actually going to be checking, or price actions and all the like, that I wouldn't know where to find an entry and then an exit, perhaps. So that's one of the lovely things about, trading higher time frame. Higher time frame, you may not find frequent entry, but your entry will be more perfect and strong, and then give you what you wanted. So you reduce the stress of jumping here and there and all of that. All right. So that's why I saw that and I said, okay, that's going to be good. So what does it take? Of course, you trading, you have to pay for it, and then you get it connected to your account. Then on the CoinW, what I recommend, I think I'm going to post on the group, was that if you really know you are serious, you want to start trading, it should be minimum of $500 on your CoinW. If you know you are serious, you want to start trading. If not, it should be reasonable, maybe $3,000 or $5,000, depending, right? Because number one, you're not going to be jumping here and there trying to flip an account. Trading is not about making profit. Trading is to be profitable, right? So if trading is not about making profit, but to be profitable, so you take it one step at a time. Now, someone may ask me, hey, what about me that do not have enough money? You can start from somewhere, all right? So next is spot trading. I've always been recommending that as a beginner, that's the best place you should start from. So market is crashing, wait for it. When it gets to a sizable place where you know that, oh, this market is supposed to have bottom and you are looking at reversal to be setting in, you start ladder buying. So you buy small portion, you wait again. When it comes down, you buy small portion. Just like in Bitcoin now, there are some persons who have been ladder buying because they have seen that it has gotten to 83,000 or 82,000 or 85,000. And then they ladder buy till $73,000, depending on where, because they probably will plan to say, okay, even if Bitcoin come down to $73,000, chances are there for it to rally up back to $92,000. So whatever they have this year or ladder buy, and then when they are selling it up there, it's still something for them. And that's one of the ideology, where they are looking at. So 73,000 even to 60, so 73,000, 72, and $68,000. Yeah, you hear me right. Yeah. So you are not saying, hey, Felix, are you saying Bitcoin it can even go to as low as $64,000? Yeah, so I'm not putting the fear on anyone. It's just to let you know that either you like it or not, certain thing will happen, and then you can change the fact that they have to happen. Okay, so for Bitcoin, now for trading Forex, so what I recommend for trading Forex is the fact that people don't like knowledge, so that's why one of the first places I recommend for anyone who want to get to start trading Forex is AKASHX. Now, you ask me, Felix, why AKASHX? Number one is that you're going to learn, okay? And I'm not going to be the one to compel you to learn, because if you pay for something, you pay attention. Now, I'm not saying free information is not going to help people, but I've discovered when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. So you don't need to pay to Felix. That's one of the things I see. You don't need to pay to Felix, but when you pay on AKASHX, then you can be added on a group, okay? You can be added on a group where you can be guided for your trade. Even though you have all the necessary resources and tools on AKASHX platform, and not just that, the opportunity of having fund, because on the, what do they call them? On the funded account. So the opportunity of having a funded account, which is a challenge account, without you paying for it again, is a big opportunity. Okay, so with that opportunity, it's very, very simple. You can make. I just want to bring out that so that we can see that. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so now for anyone who is coming for Forex trading, so the first I recommend for you is to go subscribe to AKASHX, right? When you subscribe to AKASHX, then you have access to some training there. And not just because of the training alone, one of the things that motivate me to at least recommend for people so we can be serious. And please take note, please. If you subscribe on AKASHX, my first recommendation is that the first time of the first 1 month, if you subscribe, especially for 1 year, because they have made it a very kind of consistent 1 year and what you stand to have right now. So let me just open it. So if you do that, it's very simple. I don't expect you to trade for your first one. Don't. All right. So look at it. For people who subscribe for weekly, monthly, I don't recommend that. But if you want to start from there, why not? So what I recommend is actually 12 months. Right? So when you do for 12 months, now it's like permanent $99, and then you have access to all of this. Now, why am I saying this? So now you're going to have access to a challenge account of 200,000. Now, after you've done that, for you to be on the group so that you don't be under pressure using the AKASHX or to want to pass the account, congratulations to someone, one of our community person just passed level 1 of 200,000. Level 1 of 200,000 is 10%. That means he has done 20,000 profit level, and then it's now in level 2 to make 5%, which is 10,000. Once that happens, this account become live for her, and then she'll be trading. So what I do, I was telling her, I said, imagine when you trade and then just build up your strategy to make 2%, right, in a month sometime, or make 5%. 5% is $10,000, right? And if you stay conscious and stay disciplined, you can work on yourself so much and then make more money. So additionally, we say, okay, in doing this rightly, it's better we have a live account funded, and that's why we have a partnership with Capital Extend. And also, even if it's $500 or $1,000, you fund while you're building this, you can make some money because you want to help yourself to take care of some needs and all the like. And that's for the Forex. So we trade Forex. And then my recommendation of Forex is that when you're trading Forex, you don't trade too many instruments. That's one of the biggest error most people make while trading Forex or anything. So it's better you are an organized trader rather than to be jack of all trade trader. So you have to find a way. So, and for people who start with, I don't trade currency much time, right? I trade more of, commodities, CFDs, and all of that, because trading currency waste my time after the whole analysis. After the whole thing is just a very little amount of money I'm going to see, right? I'm not saying small money is not good, but it sometimes doesn't worth my effort and energy I put into place to analyze the market. All right. So for instance, I trade US 30, I trade NAS 100, and all of those. Those ones that are going to give me money, right? So but of course, you need to know if you are not disciplined enough, those things can collect all the money from you. So you can see key levels of where this guy, we've targeted, and see how it has moved. So a lot of people got this, some persons got this to trade down and all of that. And the same thing you are seeing, NAS. So you can see NAS still continue, and it's still going to continue because it's already at the key level. And then breaking this key level tomorrow, and just like first open and come up, then we continue to have down to 2040, right? So that means it's still much, much, much money to be made. And of course, gold had done massive, and then you see at the key level, and then this is a continuation for gold. That means we're looking at gold. If you didn't stop here, then you are looking at gold, a buy opportunity for gold that probably maybe next week, Monday, the beginning of the month, and which about 2791 region, or probably just a loop down and all of that. So I trade more of gold and of course Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin into my Forex segment so that it can give me what I want. So next is trading synthetics. So trading synthetics is another amazing opportunity where people maximize in their trading, okay? So synthetics is good if you know what you are doing. And so we have two environments where we trade synthetics, and I'm going to share with you right now. So we have deriv, and so I trade deriv, right? And but my trading on deriv is very, very organized. So I don't trade disorganized kind, just like any animal that pass through my front, I kill. No, I don't look for that. Because I do not have enough time. All right. So my time, I have to maximize it as much as possible. All right. And that's one of the biggest aspects. So deriv is a place where you have instrument called boom and crash. Ooh, I missed this. Mr. Simplicity, do you saw the message I sent to you? And of course, I send it on the group too for people to take note of this 25, right, of a potential return on it. Quite unfortunate. I am not going to be happy if I miss this because I was targeting the entry. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. Yeah. I was actually targeting because the key level, oh my word. Ah, because this is how I ride this market from, I think I ride it down here before the pullback and all of that. I love to ride a market for a very long time. So imagine this type of market, somebody rode this market from this point, I think from here, that was last year, November, up to January this year. And since that January this year, right, this is January. And I was telling somebody, I say, by the end of February, we may start having signals of this guy running up and all of that. But we're still good anyway. Now, if I go to 4 hours, now for this guy, I love to ride market because it's already forming a base, right? So if it's forming a base, right? Now, why I love to find entry at the base is that even if it's going to give me floating loss, I probably, when it breaks some key level, I add to my position. And then by the time it flop all of this and cover up to this point, that's a total return, not just a pullback of like this eventually. And that's why I do not joke with time and season, and you can see why I have limited time, not to many things, all right? Sorry, not to many instruments, but to target particular. If I want to scalp, what I trade more is actually boom 1000. Now this is like a double top. That means boom 1000. This is a key level, and then so for me, instead of me to trade boom 1000 now, I'd rather wait. If it crashes down much down here, now finding an entry here, you write it up. And that's exactly what I normally do. I think it was last week when I was giving this to somebody after this key level, look at this. Then imagine for the person who got in here and probably even targeting here 600 and something. If you use one standard, that's 600 and something. If you use this, or depending on how many positions you open, right? So sometimes you can be on this market for 1 week and you can do $1,000, $2,000 depending on the strategy you actually committed into use. But does it happen every time like that? No. And me, I don't sell against it because I do not have time to monitor the trade. I wait for it to correct back to a major point, and then I find a fantastic entry. Now, last but not the least, right, on the same synthetics is that we use this guy. We use call it for me, well trade, right? To trade more volatility. I think yesterday I was sharing with some persons on the market dimensions of this, and this had actually happened, played out yesterday. And when we're targeting at a point of where the market was going to be going to, I think I was drawing some candlestick for people yesterday and all of that. So if I go to like 1 hour time frame, sorry, I like my trade on long time, higher time frame so that I can find a proper entry. So I expected the market to get up to this point, and that was a fair rally, right? Come back to grab those liquidity. Eventually is to the up here and all of that. So we trade this instrument too, right? This is on well trade as a broker. That trade currency from day one and then add synthetics volatility indices to their platform. So I don't trade their pain and gain. So I just trade but I trade the one that is more dangerous in their so fast is called Vol 80. Now, what I recommend is that when people come to trade, because if you're on well trade and you want to trade and your equity is not from, let me say $1,000 and above, don't trade it. And if you don't have caution and discipline to wait for appropriate time before entry, and if you enter when it's going to different dimension, you're able to hold yourself to absorb the floating loss, then you can trade it. But if you cannot do that, don't even try to trade it. And that's one of the things about this. So we've been doing this, right? Well trade and all of that. So we have Adino Forest had been pushing people through to push their $50 to $500 in a month, and they have been doing that religiously. I think every day, right, something like that they have been trading that instrument. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our trading segment. Now, the question you want to ask me, Felix, which one should I trade? Now, it depends on you and what exactly are you looking for. Now, my advice for many persons who probably want to trade is that if I'm going to trade synthetic as my major, so that means for like a career, that means you want to build it and be trading it every day to make like a kind of day trading, then you make it a priority that like a career, okay? Then Forex, if Forex is your auxiliary, then you swing on Forex. So that in that way, you probably have to look at 4-hour daily time frame, and especially maybe on some of those major instruments of major currency like Euro USD, GBP USD, and all of that. So you can target appropriate point of buying and selling. I remember last year I shot this guy from this double top here. Look at the neckline broken. This is a retest, but I shot from here because I was already having a bearish bias, all right, because of the DXY momentum, right? And that was exactly what I did last year. Look at it here, and then DXY running up. Now, DXY was coming down, but got a bounce here, and I was telling us the other time, if you get a bounce here, and whatever make DXY break this point, then we go back to that initial point. You know, my target was 109, and eventually the next target is 111. So that means if we go there, then what we're going to have for Euro USD is to rock down to this initial point down here. Let's go back there. Yes. Right? Look at it here. And that's going to be amazing for swing traders. Okay? So you want to do that. So if it's synthetics, you have to really tell yourself, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. This is when I want to trade. If it's Forex, oh, I want to be trading New York. New York in Nigerian local time, I think it's 12 a.m., 12 noon or 1 p.m. as it were, right? So if that's what your target, okay, guys, see, those of you I say you should short, if you have short, probably going down. But I say don't use leverage, just 1x, continue, and all of that. But the best time will have been here, and then now you will have been stacking more positions as much as possible. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so additionally, so you have told us so Bitcoin from this channel, and then we couldn't return back to the channel. We lost the momentum, and it's the same thing that's about forming now. So here we couldn't return to the channel. Now we are out of the channel here right now. And if eventually we couldn't return, we have lost the momentum, right? So, and these are more reasons why we tell people pay attention to timely information, because the currency of this season is information. You can have access to the right information and timely information, then you will do massive, massive, massive exploit. And that's exactly what we encourage people to do. Then additionally, when you make money, you heard me, if you're on an ecosystem, shouting for how long, that, hey, if you know that you have some profit on some of your coins, take out the profit and lock it into Paynet ecosystem so that you have a place to be collecting dollar every month, or maybe sometime you are trading and you blow your account. Of course, you have a place to take out money to reboost your account. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please just put up your digital hands, and so that I can attend to us. By the grace of God, tomorrow we talk much about affiliate rebate system, and that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Affiliate rebate system is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and then you'll be given attention to for clarification. Any question, anyone? All right. We don't have questions. If you do not have questions, do have a nice rest. And just if you are on our group, links for all of those platforms are there. Register, fill your account, then let us know so that you can be added to the appropriate group and all of that. On Saturday, every 10 a.m. Nigerian local time, which is West African time, is our Paynet ecosystem, FMC Paynet ecosystem presentation. Is every week, every Saturday, 10 a.m. Nigerian local time, all right? So you take time to attend, and get clarified. I will tell people the worst is ignorance, to reject what you don't know about from afar. Okay? So it's not about, oh, I know so much about this thing. You probably may not be well explained to. And that's one of the issues we have today. And that's why we don't maximize opportunity. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming and enjoy your night. Bye-bye.